I'll never forget the day my dad died. Um, it was just like, what is happening? I seen everything. I knew he was gone. I seen him being worked on in the ambulance. And I just knew, the way he looked, the way his arm was flailing in the air because they were, pounding on him pretty hard on his chest. I guess they do that for when you're unresponsive or whatever. But that's just something I'll never forget. His truck was started. He had his keys, I think, were on the ground that I picked up, and his sunglasses. And damn, man, it hurt. I was numb. I went to the hospital with my mom, and she got home. Her boss drove her to the house, and then I drove to the hospital. I didn't feel anything on that drive there. I drove not crazy fast, but fast. I just knew, man. We got there to the hospital, the ER, and they came in and said they did everything, the cliche thing. And he was gone. That was official. Yeah, my mom was there, my grandma and my Uncle Dean. It was just us in that room when they told us, and I got to go see him. And this is just another image that I'll never forget. I wish I could erase it. He had one eye open. He just it wasn't him. He was just laying there. Like 2 hours ago he was alive. Just reading the paper, probably not even having a clue. I'm sure that it was going to be that morning that his time was coming to an end. I remember, I think I put my hand on him, on his stomach. The priest was in there. I should have had him leave, but I broke down, man. I remember I broke down in the hallway. I kind of collapsed to my knees almost, and I wanted so badly to do anything I could to bring him back. I blamed myself, for not being awake or taking him. I could have drove him or something. I know it's not my fault, but that's just what comes with grief. Yeah. I didn't even cry at the funeral. It was all just a blur. Lynn was here. That was so glad to have him here for that. Lynn was another one that I'll never forget either. I was playing guitar, I think, or listening to music, and it was like 1 a.m. and Carrie had called me and told me that he had passed in her arms, and my knees were buckling. They were shaking. Like, I never ever get that way, and I didn't care in the moment. I did not care what was happening. It was just a weird feeling. I told my mom. I woke her up. That one hurt. It still does. Lynn was a good guy. Like everyone, we all had our struggles and flaws, and he was really changing. And that's the cliche thing to say, but it was the truth. I saw it. It was inspiring to me. He was becoming a better husband from falling off the path of marriage, and that hurt, man. We were building a good relationship too, so we knew each other, talked here and there, but not like we started, or not like we did towards the end of his life. That's what hurts. I just wish he was here. I could call him. He's driving on the road or something. He was a truck driver. I can hear his voice, just I just wish we had more time together, you know. So talk about Dad and learn new things about him from one another, you know. I mean, that's grief in a nutshell. You know, I went through an anger phase, and it's still there. You know, the things that trigger me, the anger, it's still there, but it's tamed. You know, I know not to say things that I said in the past because it's going to hurt me in the long run, and I'm going to lose a friendship or a relationship that I shouldn't have. You know, grief it is a never-ending ride of ups and downs and twists and turns and corkscrews, everything. You know, some days you feel every bit of it. You know, it's like Lynn and my dad. I close my eyes, I can see them moving, talking, or making hand gestures. But physically, they're not here. You know, that's what hurts the most. Not being able to see a reaction or just talk to them. You know. I hope that this inspires someone that's gone through grief. I mean, that's just tip of the iceberg, I think, for me. Most of the other stuff is, I think, feelings, things that are harder to put into words. But let it motivate you, let it inspire you. You know, have your days where you're sad, your moments where you cry, that's good. But they honestly would not want us upset, laying in bed for the rest of our lives, you know. They wouldn't. That is the raw truth. Let it move you, inspire you, and, you know, let it fuel you for life.